right, from Shavasana, you can take one hand or both hands to your belly. Begin to deepen your breath, filling your belly up with air. Exhale, pull the belly button to the spine. Take one more like that. We're going to try a new type of breath today. It's called box breathing. I don't think I've taught you guys this one. So we're going to inhale for the count of 4, hold for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and hold for a count of 4. So you want to make that inhale and the exhale slow, but long enough to last 4 seconds and short enough to last 4 seconds. So here we go. Take a deep breath. Deep breath out. And we'll inhale for 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Keep going. See if you can do 4 more rounds. And then once you complete those 4 rounds, allow your breathing to return to its normal state. And that type of box breathing, Navy SEALs actually use that to help them focus and concentrate. So we're going to focus and concentrate on our practice, but you can use that at any time in your life when you need some more focus. And as you're breathing naturally, I'm just going to read a little paragraph out of this Sunrise Gratitude book. It says, "Our lives are made up of cycles. Everything comes and goes in a cyclical manner. The quicker we embrace the cycles in our lives, the faster we can accept what is. Just like a river flows through a canyon, we too must allow life to flow, holding loosely to what we have because it is only passing through. Today, give gratitude and open up to all that wants to flow into it." And from here, we'll bend our knees, take your heels onto the ground, and we'll warm up our core. So that little space behind your back, the low back, press that into the mat so your hand can't get through. Keep it hugged in, belly hugged in, and then straighten one leg down the mat. Lift that leg and hover it down and bring it in. Straighten the other leg, lift it up, down, and bring it in. Keep going. Up, down, in, keeping the core nice and tight. Straighten, up, down, in. Straighten, up, down, in. Straighten, up, down, in. Let's do one more on each side. And give your knees a hug. Rock side to side. Take your shins parallel to the sky. And again, press the low back down. If you want to flex the feet for this, I feel like it's easier. And then take your palms up to the sky like you're going to crawl on the ceiling. So your palms are, your wrists are flexed. Hugging the belly in, pressing the low back down, straighten the right leg down and the left arm. You don't have to go far. Don't go down as far. And then bring it back in. Right arm, left leg. Bring it in. Now add the breath. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale out. Exhale in. Inhale out. Exhale in. Out. In. Let's do 2 more on each side. Give your knees a hug when you finish. Rock side to side. Take the soles of the feet together. Reach through your legs, grab the outsides of your ankles for butterfly. So push the knees away, pull the feet toward you. Let's take one of those box breaths here. Breathe in for 4. Hold. Breathe out for 4. Hold. Take the heels to the sky for happy baby. You can rock side to side or gently straighten one leg then the other or both legs. Just kind of warming up here, so don't force anything. And holding onto your knees or the back of your thighs, rock front to back. Massaging your spine. And we're going to end up in tabletop, hands and knees. Take a few cat-cows when you get there. Inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the chin, and then squeeze the shoulder blades together on the back, really dropping the chest. Exhale, round the spine, pull the shoulder blades apart, tuck the chin to the chest. Keep moving with your breath. Take any other movement that feels nice. Sway the hips, hip circles, drop into child's pose. Whatever the body needs to warm up. Once you feel balanced on each side, then from here, we're going to take some hip circles. So try to keep your left hip somewhat over your knee. So you don't want to pop that left hip out. You want to try to keep it centered over that knee, and you're just going to lift that right knee out to the side. And then send it back like in a circle. You're making a circle with your knee, and then coming back to the mat, lifting it out to the side and back. Almost like if we put paint on your kneecap and you're drawing a circle with that knee. You want it to be a nice, pretty circle. Your knee does not have to get up too high. So just go to where you feel the first edge of resistance and then make the circle there. You don't need to push it here. Just opening up the hips, checking for mobility. Then reverse the circles. And bring that knee down, other side. Left knee goes out, and one side might be different than the other. You're gonna make a circle with that knee. So one side you may be able to get up higher than the other. That's okay. Just notice. Notice if your hip's popping out over that right knee. And reverse the circles. All right, and then come back to center. Take a cat-cow. Then tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, down dog. Pedal out your feet here. Come up onto the toes, then back down to the heels. Experiment here with the width of your feet, taking your feet wider or closer together, your hands wider or closer together, and see which one feels the best in your body. And you're going to be spiraling your biceps forward, so the inside of your elbows are kind of turning forward to the top edge of your mat. Then bend the knees and walk up to your hands into forward fold. You may have a block there that you're welcome to fold to if you don't want to go all the way down. If you do want to go all the way down, feel free to fold all the way. Let the head hang. This mic is like in my mouth. You can grab opposite elbows for ragdoll if you'd like, swaying side to side. And then roll up one vertebrae at a time. Head is the last to come up. Roll your shoulders up and down and back when you get to standing, mountain pose. And we're going to try something. I want you to fold forward just like you normally would. Fold forward. Notice what you feel in your back, in your legs. Then roll back up one vertebrae at a time. Head is the last to come up. Roll the shoulders. Now, place your thumbs on your rib cage, the bottom of your rib cage, and your pinkies on the top part of your hip bones in the front. So this is your abdomen. And we're going to practice bracing the abdomen. So you may have heard me or like other yoga teachers or any other exercise person saying, brace your core or hug your belly button to your spine. So go ahead and do that. Hug the belly button in. Notice how you feel there. Notice how it feels against your fingertips. Now relax the belly. This time I want you to press out into your hands with your belly. So just if you don't really know how to do that, do like a little cough. So, and that little pushes, the muscles are pushing against the fingertips. So that's called bracing your core. So we're going to be bracing, so pushing out into our fingertips and lifting up through the crown of our head. So we're bracing and spacing, adding space here from the rib cage and our fingertips where they were before we spaced. So brace and space. So you want to try to hold this bracing in your core, so pushing out instead of hugging in. We're going to be pushing out throughout all the standing poses. So now hold your brace and then keep it there while you fold forward until you feel like you're about to lose the brace. You can't hold on anymore. Then allow the spine to take over and fold forward. Notice how that felt compared to the way you normally do it. We're going to do that one more time. Rise up, rounding the spine to get up there. Roll the shoulders. Then brace your core. Hold it nice and tight, pushing out. That's what weightlifters do when if you've ever seen like an Olympic lifter lifting, they go, they blow out when they lift up that heavy weight. They're pushing their belly out to protect the spine. So pushing out and fold forward until you're about to lose the brace, then round and let the back take over. All right, from here, we're gonna drop our hands to the mat, step back into a plank. If you want to drop to your knees, you can, as long as they're behind your hips, or you can stay on your toes. All right, from here, play around with your hand position here. Some people like their hands wider, some people like them more in. They'll be more or less under your shoulders, but they won't be exact, possibly. So from here, brace your core, pushing out. Lift through the crown of your head. Then elbows go back and you lower down to your belly. And take your hands out wide, tenting your fingers, elbows pointing up to the sky. Inhale, squeeze your glutes, press the tops of the feet into the mat, and lift the chest off the ground. It doesn't have to go super high, especially if you have any low back issues. Just come up a little bit, squeezing the upper back. Then drop the right shoulder down to the mat, look under the left armpit. Inhale back to center. Exhale, drop the left shoulder down, look under the right armpit. Inhale back up. One more each side, keep squeezing the glutes. Come back to center. Walk the hands underneath the shoulders. And actually, we're going to take the left hand straight out to the side out of its shoulder socket. Make sure it's nice and straight. Right hand underneath the right shoulder. You're going to roll up onto the left side body. And we're just going to do this in like a flowing motion. So your knees can be bent out in front if you want. You can take the top knee and point it up to the sky. We're not going to be here that long. One more breath. Then come back to center. And take that left arm and move it down below your shoulder. And roll up onto your left side body. You can take that knee up. Notice how that feels on your shoulder and come back down. Now take the left hand above the shoulder. So then take your time coming into this one. It might be more intense. And come up onto the left side body. And come back to center. And you decide where you like your arm the best, and that's where you're going to keep it. So when you're ready, roll up onto the left side. Bend the knees out in front and stay here, or take that top leg, point the knee to the sky. We'll be here for 3 breaths. Then come back to your center. Take that left hand more or less underneath the left shoulder. Right hand goes out to the side, straight out from the shoulder socket. Roll up onto the right side body. You can bend the knees out in front. Notice how that feels. Come back to center. Drop that hand below the shoulder and roll up onto the right side body. You can take that top leg, point it to the sky if you want. And come back down. Bring the hand above the shoulder this time. Take your time on this one. And roll the body. Decide where you like your arm the best. Come back to center. And place your hand where you like it. Roll onto the right side. We'll be here for 3 breaths. Come back to center. And from here, we're going to tuck the toes, elbows back, push into the mat with your hands, brace your core, so push out and push up to a push up to your knees or to your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here and pedal it out, wag your tail, whatever feels good. Bend your knees, look forward, step or hop to the top of your mat into that forward fold. Rise up, rounding the spine to get there. Roll the shoulders. Brace the core, push out, lift up with the crown of the head, keeping that brace, fold forward. Then let the spine take over and around. And inhale, halfway lift. Squeeze the glutes and brace the core whenever you can. Exhale, fold. Rise up, rounding the spine. Squeeze the glutes. Roll the shoulders up and down and back. And now I want you to try to fold just like you normally would and see if you can see the difference. So folding without bracing if you didn't do that before. So just folding. And notice how, I don't know if you feel it, but I feel more sensation in the joints and in the spine than when it's braced. All right, so round one more time, back up, roll the shoulders, brace the core, keep it braced as you fold forward until you can't brace anymore, then round the back. Plant the hands, step back into a plank. On the toes or on the knees, brace the core, pushing out, elbows back, and then come all the way down. Inhale, we're going to come up for cobra, baby cobra, or up dog. I'm not doing those right now because I have a low back injury, but if you want to, you can thread the chest through, elbows back. Exhale to down dog, or you can push up and exhale to down dog. 3 breaths here. Lift the right leg to the sky and bring it knee to nose, shifting your weight through, rounding the back, and then send that foot through in between your hands, or you can drop down to your knees and place that right foot through, then lift up. So we're going to be in a runner's lunge, rocking front to back. Then anchor the back foot down. So we're coming into warrior 2, but that might look different than your normal warrior. So you're just turning the back foot down, rise up. Your feet might be in line, they might be wider. We're going to straighten and bend the front knee so that we can feel a nice solid base. So if you need to adjust your feet so that you feel nice and solid, like no wind's going to come by and blow you down. So you put your feet where they feel the best. Then stop and bend that front knee. Make sure that right knee is over the ankle. Start with that. Look down at that right knee. It's over the ankle. Cool. Back foot feels nice and stable. Now notice where your hips are. You can put your little blinders on, the heels of your hands and the front of your hip bones. Look where your fingers are pointing. Mine are pointing to the top left corner of your mat, my mat. I don't know where yours are. Keep your hips wherever they are with that knee over the ankle. Then turn the thoracic spine, the rib cage only, to the long side of the mat. Then extend the arms out. Turn the head, the cervical spine only, looking over the right fingertips. Then you're going to push down with the right foot, push down into the mat, and energetically pull it back. You're not going to actually move it. You're just energetically pulling it back like you're scraping gum off the bottom of your shoe. And that back foot, the left foot's also pulling toward the right. You feel your legs activating? It's a lot to think about. Then brace your core. So push out, lift up. This is your warrior two. Does it feel any different? For me, it's a lot harder. So from here, take a deep breath. Then straighten that front leg. Woo. All right, keep pulling those feet together energetically. Then lift or take your right fingertips forward and your left hip pops back. You're reaching over the counter to get something. And then come back to center, reach over, grab it, come back to center, reach over. Once you reach over the last time, drop the right hand right where it is to the inside of the right thigh. Left arm goes up to the sky. This is your triangle pose. This is where your spine is straight. So keep the brace in your core. So push out and keep pulling the feet together and breathe. Now bend that right knee, keeping all of that stuff engaged. Bend the right knee and you're dropping that hand down, coming into side angle, right arm to the right thigh. Then extend that left arm overhead so you're in a nice straight line with your back leg. Spiral that left shoulder up and back. Breathe. And take that right hand, scoop the air out in front and send it back for peaceful warrior. Still bracing in the core and pulling the feet together. Come back to warrior two. Pivot to the back of your mat for warrior two, facing the back. So you just pivot your feet, bend and straighten that front leg again. So you feel nice and stable for warrior two. Once you have your feet where you want them, bend that front knee. Make sure it's over that ankle. Look where your hips are. Keep them there. Then turn the rib cage only to the long side edge of your mat. Extend the arms. Head turns to look over the left fingertips. Brace the core. Push down in that front foot, the left foot. Pull them together. Feel all your muscles activate. This is strength and stability work. Breathe. Straighten the front leg. Reach forward with the left hand. Let the right hips pop back and come back to center. Reach forward and back. Reaching over that counter to get something and come back. Next time you reach, stay there. Drop the left arm. Lift the right arm to the sky, triangle. Brace the core. Push down with your feet and pull them together. Breathe. And then bend that left knee. Take that left forearm on the left thigh, reach overhead with the right. Spiral the right shoulder back. And scoop the air with the left hand, peaceful warrior. Come back to warrior two. Pivot the feet to the long edge of your mat, however you like them, and fold forward, wide-legged fold. Stay here for a few breaths. Let your head hang. Let your hips rise up to the sky while your head is being pulled down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, we're going to come into Skandasana. So bend the left knee. So if you need to turn your feet, for me, turn the toes out because my knee can track alongside and on top of my toes easier. So maybe turn the toes out if that's easier for you. And you can just keep your hands on the mat and bend one knee, straighten the other leg, and pull the straight leg's toes up. And we're going to walk to the other side. Guess what? Your heel can be off the ground here on the bent leg. You can stay on the toes. We're just moving back and forth. You don't have to even pull the toes up to the sky on the straight leg. To me, it's just more sensation. And then thread your chest through when you get down into that squat. So you're bringing the head up. It's moving back and forth. And if you don't want to go all the way down, you can even hold on to a block even and drop just enough to go to the block. And once you feel even side to side, then come back to that forward fold. And walk your hands toward the front edge of your mat, pivot your feet, and step back into a plank on your knees or on your toes. Brace your core, push out, lower down, elbows are going back. Inhale up for baby cobra, cobra, or up dog, or do a push-up. Exhale, down dog. 3 breaths here. I'm going to just turn this direction, but you guys stay where you are. Inhale the left leg to the sky. Exhale, bring it knee to nose, shifting forward, and send that foot through or drop to the knees first. Runner's lunge, rock front to back. Now anchor that back foot down, the right foot down, and rise up for warrior 2. Bend and straighten that the left knee, so you feel nice and stable. This time, I want you to, once you get into warrior 2, bring that back foot in one step. So in with the toes, in with the heel, and then come back to that sturdy, stable base. You just shorten the stance. And from here, once you feel stable, by bracing your core, lifting up through the crown of the head, pushing down and pulling back with that front foot and pulling the right foot toward the left. Once you feel nice and stable there, you're going to tip your weight onto that left foot and pick up the right for half moon. Once you feel stable in half moon, pushing down, you can have a bent leg here if you need to. You can point the toes or flex the foot, reach the crown of the head forward and the heel or the toes of the the floating leg behind you. Brace the core, push out, and then drop that back foot down. Warrior 2. Now this time I want you to relax everything. And then I want you to go into your normal half moon and just how you normally do without any cueing and see how that feels. When you're ready, pop up. Notice if it feels any different or if it feels the same. For me, it's harder without bracing or pushing down or anything. I don't know about for you. Drop the back foot, warrior 2. And turn to the side of your mat, fold forward, wide-legged fold. Here you can take Skandasana again, walking to either side, straightening one leg, bending the other. Or if you'd rather take a wide-legged forward fold twist, you can take one hand out in front and lift the other to the sky. Bring it back down, switch to the other side. And bring it down. Then rise up. You can bend your knees if you want. Head is the last to come up. Warrior two facing the opposite direction. So bend and straighten, bend and straighten. Find your warrior two pose. Then heel toe your back foot in one time to shorten your stance. Push down in that front foot, pull the feet together, activating the legs, push out with your core. So bracing the core, keeping that nice and tight. Then when you're ready, lift off the back foot and pivot onto your block or tenting your fingers for half moon. Really try to brace that core here and push down and back with that standing leg, pointing or flexing the floating leg. Drop the back leg, warrior two. Now let's try it the old way, just however you did it before, relaxing, fully relaxed, or however you did it. Tilt forward, half moon when you're ready. See if you notice any differences here. And as the book said today, life comes in cycles. So maybe you've been practicing with a relaxed body for yoga all this time, and now we're cycling into more of a strength, stability practice. You can drop down to warrior two when you're ready. And from here, we'll just cartwheel our hands down, step back into a plank. We'll flow one more time, or you can skip it. Meet in down dog. So that's kind of what's happening with my teaching. I feel like I went from a flexibility mindset to now stability and mobility mindset. So once you get to down dog, drop to your knees and step that right foot forward. We're going to come into dragon pose. I'm going to show it to you two different ways. So take your dragon how you always do. We'll take baby dragon with the block to the inside of that right foot kind of out to the side edge of your mat. And usually in yin, this is the difference between yin and yang yoga. In yin, we fully relax. So relax the muscles in and around the hips. Use your breath to help you. Nothing's engaged really in the legs. You're just kind of letting gravity pull your pelvis to the ground. You can even wing that right knee out a little bit if you'd like. If your back's giving you trouble, I recommend just staying straight with the knee. And now we're going to take a strength and stability yang dragon. So same thing, except just like we did earlier, we're bracing the core, lifting up through the spine, and pushing down with that right foot and pulling back, pulling the left knee toward the right foot energetically. See if you feel the difference here. Basically, you're tightening up. One more breath. And take a half split, sending the hips back, straighten the right leg, fold over that right leg. You can point and flex the toes. And then bring that right foot back to meet the left. And we'll step that left foot forward. for baby dragon on the other side. So taking it the yin way first, dropping the pelvis towards the mat, relaxing the muscles in and around the hips. And by doing that, you're really working into the joints and the connective tissue, the fascia that surrounds them, the tendons. Whenever we switch over to the more yang movements is when you start to work the muscles more. If you like, or just keep it centered. And bring that knee back to center if it's not already there. And we'll switch into yang mode. So push down with that left foot, pull it back like you're scraping gum off. Pull that right knee toward that left heel without actually moving the legs. Just activating all those muscles. Brace the core, lift up through the spine. And here's your yang dragon. Although you also push out and in with the knee, which I did not throw at you yet. Baby steps. Breathe. And relax into half splits. Straighten that left leg, fold down, pedal the foot. And then come back to tabletop. And we can roll over to our back. Hug your knees in when you get there, rock side to side. You can take another supine butterfly, reaching through your legs, grab the outsides of your feet, push the knees away, pull the feet toward you. Try to slow the breath. You want to take some box breaths again, breathing in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale 4 seconds, and hold 4 seconds. Take a happy baby. Notice if it feels any different than when we first started. Knees are wide here. And bring the feet down to the mat and set up for bridge pose. So we'll take bridge pose with the feet flat on the mat. Press the hips up to the sky. Breathe. Then lower down. Sway the knees side to side. And now we'll take bridge with all of our new knowledge. So come back to center, press down into the heels and pull back. Press the low back into the mat and activate the core. Then use your glutes to lift yourself up by squeezing the glutes. Keep squeezing the back body, chest to chin. Don't worry about getting your hips up so high, just keep the back activated. Your legs are also activated. You can clasp your hands underneath if you like, but you don't have to. One more breath. Lower down slowly. Walk the feet to the edges of the mat. Let your knees cave into each other and then sway your knees side to side. So I'll let you choose this last set of poses where you can either do banana pose or a supine twist. So you decide what your body needs right now and go for it. If you're doing the twist, give your knees a hug, let them fall over to the right, open your chest to the sky and look to the left. If you're taking the banana pose, from bridge pose, lift the hips, set them over to the left, and straighten the legs down the mat, crossing the right or the left ankle if you'd like, or keep them side by side. Arms go overhead and over to the right as well, so your body's in a crescent shape. The midsection should stay relatively flat. So you want the hip bones, the back of the hip bones to be on the mat. You can close your eyes here and relax. Let go of any tension. Notice your thoughts, images, any feelings or emotions that float by. And come back to center in whatever pose you chose. If you're in banana, lift the hips, set them over to the right. If you're in supine twist, hug the knees and take them over to the left this time. Extend the legs if you're in banana and the arms coming into a crescent on the other side. Again, relax the abdomen here, soften the shoulders. And come back to center. And give your knees a hug. You can go straight into Shavasana, or if you want to take a little outer hip pose really quick. We didn't do a supine pigeon. I really like to do those every day. So you want to do just a quick one of those, crossing your ankle over one thigh and pulling that leg toward your chest. You can take that real quick. And switch to the other side. Come back to center when you're ready and relax down into your mat. Just allowing your body to fully relax and melt like butter on a warm piece of bread. Letting all thoughts flow and being open to any thoughts, emotions, or sensations flowing through. Begin to notice your breath. Take another box breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Allow your breathing to become normal. Make your way into a seated position, however you want to get there. Bring your hands together at heart center when you're there. Sit up tall with a slight brace in your core. Drop your chin to your chest. Take a deep breath in. Let it go. Thank you for joining me today and sharing your practice with me. Please drink a big glass of water, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. The light in me honors the light in you. Go in peace, my friends.